Thank you, Dr. Haushalter. Mayor Harris. Greetings, citizens of Shelby County. I'm Dr. Bruce Randolph, the Health Officer of Shelby County Health Department. I'd like to just highlight a couple of things today, and then we will open things up for questions. One thing I want to just remind everyone to adhere to the safety measures outlined in the Health Directive number 12. It's very important that we all, whether you're individual, whether you are a business or service, that we adhere to the safety measures that we have outlined. Specifically, I want to just mention to the county facilities that they're also required to adhere to the safety measures outlined. There's effort to address the crowded issues there at the Criminal Justice Center, where the courts are there, 201 Poplar. We have made efforts to address that, and they appear to be successful. We are assessing that, but my appeal is actually to the citizens. If you are summoned, you have some warrant or something that requires you to appear in court, we encourage you to come on the date and time that's outlined on your warrant, and to come and leave when done and not just hang around. You can help us tremendously in terms of avoiding the crowds that tend to gather sometimes outside waiting to get in, as well as they're in the halls. The other thing I want to mention is we well know that voting is coming upon us. Early voting sites have been identified, and we just want to encourage and reinforce the fact that those locations must also adhere to the safety measures outlined in the Health Directive, and so we encourage the Election Commission to ensure that the early voting sites that you have identified, that they are indeed safe and afford the opportunity for everyone to be able to exercise their constitutional right to vote without the fear of getting infected with the COVID-19 virus. Just want to reiterate what Dr. Haushalter stated about limited service restaurants. You must do what's right. We're allowing an opportunity to allow you to open, to operate, but it must be within the safety measures that apply to everyone. And we are indeed partnering with the Alcohol Beverage Commission, and they have agreed that if you are found to be in violation of the Health Directive, that would be grounds to have your liquor license terminated. And we all know that without a liquor license, many of you wouldn't have a business, because that's very crucial. So we're encouraging you and asking you to adhere with the directives. Do what's right. Let's do right so we can do more. The last thing I want to just say to the citizens and remind everyone that simply because things are open doesn't necessarily mean you ought to go. You ought to visit or participate. You must assess your own risk based on your personal medical history and know what things you ought to be around and what you should not, crowds you should avoid, etc. And also reminding everyone that because things are legally permissible, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's medically advisable. So use your best judgment in deciding what you will engage in and what you will not. With that, I will stop and entertain any questions that you may have.